Show you shit that you might not know. Welcome, my friend, to the Be With Show. Good day, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. I am your gracious host, J to the C, and this is Be With TV. Thank you for joining me today. Y'all remember, I guess a while back, this is years ago, they used to have mainframe and terminal consoles, and you basically would go to the terminal, which was essentially just a monitor with a keyboard, most likely, that you just typed in commands and it spit out information. So, I remember when I worked this job at an airline company back in the day, and this is well before like the broadband internet access. So, you had these, went into their warehouse and you had these terminals and stuff. It was all kind of the monochrome, black and green and black. So that, that technology has come a long way since the explosion of the broadband, your high-speed internet, high-speed broadband. And what I wanted to show you guys on today's broadcast was how to set up your own terminal server via the Linux terminal server project. Like I said, this has come a long way. So this is basically for people or someone out there that if you got a couple of old machines lying around, you want to make use of those. We're all at home, especially with we got kids that are trying to do like homeschool or whatnot. This will help you kind of set up you can set up hundreds really of diskless clients. So if you have old computers, hard drives and crashed on it, or you just you haven't been able to replace the drive in it, you can set up a terminal server and still utilize those machines and plug them in and boot them off of the network. And like I said, they're really good for like you could set up some type of lab environment or home school environments if you got a couple of kids at home, and you're able to set this up and on one PC, and which will serve out to many. So on today's broadcast, that's what I wanted to show you guys. So with that being said, like I said, this is the Linux Terminal Server Project. You can find that at ltsp.org. And I'll leave a link in the description below. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get started. We're going to be installing this on Ubuntu. I have a fresh install here. If you're not familiar with Ubuntu, go check out some of my previous videos where I show you and walk you through installing Ubuntu from scratch. Alright? So, first of all, we're going to go ahead and get logged in here. Okay, Alright, so this is what we got. We're logged into our desktop, and just so we have a point of reference, I'm going to show you guys what we'll be installing today. So where we were, LTSP Wrong one. Excuse me. So this is what we'll be working on today. This helps, as it states here, Linux Terminal Server Project helps in net booting LAN clients from a single installation. So you can easily maintain all those multiple machines via one client. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. Let's click on documentation and preparation just so I can show you here. So just so you have a point of reference, as far as a server machine or whatever machine you're going to use as a server, it says here at least 4 gigs of RAM. It's got an SSD disk for both root file system and home. So it basically say, like, if you set this up to get the most, this looks like what, and also what did it say? 3000 CPU benchmark. So that's basically like a close to, you want something close to the 3000 gigahertz CPU range. I mean the 3.0 gigahertz CPU range. SSD for disk and for root file system and home. If you're going to be consistently, like, is this going to be like a heavy use? Yeah, you might want to go with the suggested setup here. Have you 2 hard drives when you set your system up. Put the root file system on one hard drive. Put your home partition on another drive. Okay, and that'll help speed up performance, because the client machines will be their data will be stored in a the home folder location. All right, so and as far as clients, it says here at least one gig of RAM minimum. 500 CPU benchmark. So you're looking at least 500 megahertz CPU, and that's on the low end. Score could be the minimum set. So they're saying here one gig of RAM with 500 CPU benchmark is the minimum. That's the minimum if you have a machine that has that minimum. They're recommending 2 gigs with at least a 2000 plus score on the CPU. So you're looking at at least a 2.0 gigahertz CPU and up. But the recommended, these minimum settings will work. So I just wanted to kind of address those, so if you're kind of wondering, hey, if I have the resources to do that, you're looking at least, you want to have a gigabit, at least I would go with something with a gigabit switch if you have something connectivity wise for your network. 100 megabits a second will work. So, all right. So I just wanted to go over show you that preparation information. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and move on. Let me minimize that. All right, so to get started here, all right, so we're running Ubuntu. Most of this stuff you need to run as the super user. Okay, and the first thing that you want to do, as per kind of the documentation on the site, is you want to install the personal package archive, that PPA archive for Ubuntu. and we're going to do that. So let me go back just so I can copy and paste. I don't like to so y'all can see where I'm getting some of this stuff from. So, right, so first we're going to add that PPA repository. All right. Okay, that looks good. Then we'll update this. We'll run the repository updates. Make sure we're good. Type in, all right. Okay, we'll get that squashed away. All right. So we've got our repositories installed. And now we'll go for our packages here. And it shows the packages required with all the dependency stuff here. So easiest thing is so you don't do a lot of typing, just copy and paste. And you can copy and paste that right into your terminal. And don't forget, this has to be run as super user. So you want to sudo that. Okay, it's going to tell you all the nice, glorious packages and additional things that are going to be installed so we can set up our terminal server. So we'll go ahead and let that do its thing. Don't forget, guys, we're trying to reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers this year. So I know you all are at home checking out this video, so don't forget, hit that like button for me. Pound that sucker up. I like the thumbs. I like the thumbs. Give me more of them thumbs up. Share this video with all your friends, family, and loved ones. Anybody you think would be interested in learning and find this video informative, share it with them. Also, subscribe to my channel so you can check out and stay in the know when I drop more videos on any of my open source tutorials. So you'll stay in the know, stay up to date with what I got going on. And then, you know, you can just sometimes come hang out with me. You know what I'm saying? We all kind of stuck up here in the house. Okay, what is this? Blah, 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 blah. Is already in use. I don't remember whether or not or maybe I didn't. I don't know. Okay, so we'll check out and work through some errors if we get them. But this is all the standard process. I don't know if we did. You saw those that redness, that red, like we got some DNS errors, but it could be just because I already have this running on my network, so maybe that's interfering. Maybe I should actually bear with me, y'all. Let me, just in case, let me do something here. Right, so, all right, so there we go. We've got the main, the main packages and dependencies installed for our terminal server. Next, we're going to create our password for this. Wait, how you say it? Epoptis, something like that. I might be mispronouncing it, but hey, I'm not a English major. All right, so Control C. We're going to copy that like we did before. We're going to paste that into our terminal. We're going to change this. Make sure you change the administrator to the whoever your administrator of your system is. And that is who my guy is, right? Who am I logged? I always gotta. Who? Okay. I want to make sure I am logged in with the right person. Oh, remember, super user. Super user. All right, there we go. So we're good to go there. All right, next step in the process says network configuration. So, and being that we got that DNS error earlier, let's take a look and see if this is going to launch for us. I don't know. Let me see here. So y'all remember super user. And DNS MASQ. Alright, says we installed that config file there. That looks good. Okay, let's move on down. Say I'm maintaining client image. So now we're at the point where we're going to create our client image. And just to let you know, this might be time for coffee break, bathroom break, or something like this, because this is actually going to generate the actual client image, which comes from the root file system. Therefore, it's going to take some time. So let's get this started. So sudo LTSP, and what was that? The root file system. So I think it's just LTSP space, and then space image. Space image. Right, so this is going to create our image. Let's going to do our image here. Okay. Go ahead and coffee break, bathroom break, whatever kind of break you need to take for the time being while this is running. This is going to create our root file system that's going to be used to deploy to our client machines. So, and there it's going to kick off there. It takes a little time because this actually does create a whole root file system based on the current machine that you're on. So, like I said, potty break, bathroom break, holla at you. I'll be back. Okay, so once you've went through the process, run those commands, we're gonna test this box out. So what I'm gonna do, let me switch screens here over to, and I'm gonna see if we can do this here. It's the best way for me to do this. Let's see here. Okay, I might be able to do it like this. Okay, y'all bear with me. Let me connect to another deal here. Minimize that. OB and here, and launch this. As long as you don't get janky on me. Okay. And let me go to let me add that screen. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna do a quick switcheroo here. Window capture. All right, there we go. Let me adjust my screen. Window here, so I'm not looking janky. There we go. All right, so let's switch. I'm gonna click start. Oh, I'm on the wrong darn thing here. Let's go here. We'll start. Okay, and hold on, I messed something up here. I missed something. Okay, let me window capture. Okay, there we go. There she blows. Okay, looks fairly decent. Okay. All right, so that looks good. All right, so let me switch here for you. All right. So if you're still here with me, I've got a new, what you're going to do is you're going to launch, load up whatever machine that you're going to test this on. I'm testing this off of VirtualBox. So you're going to LAN boot from your network, whichever device you have. Okay, and let me go over there and hit that. I'm sorry. Let's go and LAN boot here and LAN boot. Okay. We'll wait a little bit. It's got to detect DHCP. We'll keep our fingers crossed here. If not, then I've got a physical machine. I just hate to kind of turn my camera and point it like that, but we'll see what we got here. Because I just tested it on a physical laptop, and of course it didn't find anything. Okay, so let me kill this. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that. Sorry about that, folks. Let's close that. I'm just going to kill that since that gave us a little issues. And let me go back to our other screen. Okay, which was this one. Let's go back to our desktop for a second. All right, so I am going to physically show you guys. So let's make some adjustments here. So I want you guys to actually see what's going on here. So let's make some quick change here. Let's do this. Okay. All right, so I don't know if you guys can see. That might be a little hard to see, but I want you guys to have a visual. My power cable's kind of. Let me see if I can turn the screen brightness down, because might be having too much glare. Can y'all can see that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna boot this from scratch. Okay, this is we on our machine here. And let me transition and switch here. All right, y'all can see me, right? Okay, perfect. So this is our machine we're working with. Sorry, I don't have a better way to kind of do this. I was hoping my VM would work for us here. So we're gonna boot this laptop up. I'm gonna hit to change my select my boot option. We're gonna choose. If y'all can see that, we're gonna choose the onboard NIC. Let's hit enter. Okay. We got it's doing the Pixie boot process, and as you can see, it grabbed the IP from our DHCP, and bam, bam, and there you have it, folks. We're booted into our IPXE boot menu. It's got an IP address from our existing DHCP server, and we're actually pulling this we're able to select this boot image. And you guys want to see if this works? All right, let's go ahead. Okay, it's loading that image. Now this is all over the network, and I actually too I want to show you guys that this is a diskless laptop. There is no hard drive in here. If y'all can see that, let me see what's the best way. There we go. Y'all see the bottom of that right there? There is no hard drive in here. Look, I can slide my fingers in here. There is no hard drive in here. Okay? So keep that in mind. This is booting up. We're at about 90%. It's loading our image. This is our root image we created from the main server machine. Okay? And what this is going to do, this is going to boot up. You're going to see the exact same login screen as you saw on our server terminal. Okay. Now, I want you guys to see this in action, see this in real time. So this is not any janky kind of, and I'm sorry if you guys, if has a little glare on it, but you guys can tell if any one of you all are out there familiar with Linux and the terminal, you know how typically things boot up. So okay, it's looking good so far, so good. And bam, as you can see there, look, if you guys can see, it's booted up into our desktop, and there's that same Ubuntu user account that I had here. So let me go back. I'm going to show you. Let me adjust my picture here. Okay. So this is our server machine. Now you see here we've actually got some apps that I installed from a previous tutorial, which is No Machine Team Viewer. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to log in to this laptop using the same login as the user that's on the server. Okay. You guys can see that. I'm going to tilt it a little bit so it doesn't have too much of a glare. Okay. You guys check that out. And there you have it. I'm booted up. Wait a second here. It's booted up into into our desktop. Same exact desktop. You see, I don't know, you can't really see. I know it's a glare on here, but I got the same applications here that are on that are running on the actual server, the LTSP server. Okay, that just was a simple demonstration of that booting up. Okay, and that's basically it. I mean, once you've got that set up, really the biggest thing you want to make sure is if you have an existing DHCP server, you may have to point your I'm losing my train of thought here. I hear the trash people outside. But anyway, you got to point your DHCP server. You have to make sure that's using, or you're pointing that to your LTSP server, and to use on the LTSP side, you want to make sure you're using DHCP proxy. So what that'll do is it will utilize your existing DHCP to assign addresses to your terminal clients. Okay, and that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It may have been a little long, I'm not sure, but hey, it is what it is. We all at home. I'm doing some stuff to kill some time and keep myself busy, and put together these videos for all my family out there in the tech world. All right, don't forget, hit the like button. Hit that like button up for me. Subscribe to this channel if you enjoy these videos, you like them, you enjoy the content I put together for you. Please subscribe to this channel, like this button, share this content with everyone you think may get some value out of these videos. Okay, don't forget, I am JC. I'm your host, J to the C. This is Be With TV. You've been with me. You've been with the best. I'ma holler at you on the 33rd. Peace, baby.